In the first 3 to 5 seconds, your prospect makes one decision. Do I keep going on with this call or don't I? From that comes one realization. What do you think it is? You need to do everything to stay on the call with them. So what you do in the first 5 seconds is not selling them, right? They're not going to buy from you in the first 5 seconds, but you do everything here to be able to keep talking to you, earning your right in. Now, when does that happen? What do you think? When do you listen to somebody? If you believe legitimately that they can help you solve a problem, in order for that to happen, what do they need to think about you? What perception do they need to have of you? You gotta be an expert, right? They need to see you as an expert. Coincidentally, they need to have a problem, of course, that is obviously the prerequisite, right? But they need to see you as an expert. What else? They need to see you as somebody who's sharp, right? Who's intelligent, who is an expert, but a very intelligent at the same time, who understands them, right? And what else do they need to see? They need to see that you care, right? That you're enthusiastic and you really care about them. Now, how do you tell them that? I mean, there's no way to tell them, right? All of that in 5 seconds, no way. And even if you did tell them, they probably wouldn't believe you. So how do you do that? By tonality, right? And so there's a couple of tonalities. We dive deeper into tonalities later on. But for now, there's a couple of things you need to get right. First and most important, remember when we said all that it does here is to get you the right to keep talking, right? So most important is a little flip, something that you're not used to unless you've learned it somewhere. But usually we don't do that. And that is that you take a declarative, so something that you say, and you frame it as a question, just as I did. You frame it as a question, meaning you use a tonality that goes up in the end. Question tonality. Note that down. Question tonality. You need to use question tonality in the first 5 seconds, right? And why? Because you're asking them a question, so it puts their mind into search mode. And while you do that, you hit them question, and then expertise and enthusiasm comes in. Well, don't worry about the words. We're gonna get to the words later. But for now, it's just about understanding. Question tonality. It keeps the mind wandering. And that allows you to keep talking. They're not able to say, no, I'm not interested, right? They're searching right now. And until they realize what is happening, it's too late, because hopefully by then they're actually interested, because you have cemented your expertise, right? 3 things. Note down those 3 things. We said them before already, but I'm repeating them. Expertise, enthusiasm, and sharp, right? Those are the 3 things that you need to show them in the first second, all right? So there's the question tonality, and there are those 3 things that you need to show. Again, how do you do that in the first 5 seconds? With tonality. Don't worry, you know those tonalities already. You just need to learn to actively use them. The question tonality is the simplest, right? Simplest. Try that out. Say anything like, my name is Joe, or whatever your name is, right? My name is Joe. My name is Stefan. You go up with your tonality, right? Don't worry about it too much. Just do this a little bit here and understand it. We're going to dive deep into tonalities later on. But what's important is that you try that and that you understand, okay, this tonality is really what I need to focus on. If I want to become great at cold calling, you need tonality. Now, I also said that it's important that they feel that you care about them, right? So as we go through them, one key tonality that I want to bring in already now is the so-called I really care tonality, right? So you can, don't worry about what to say. We will get to that later. But for now, I really care. You need to show them that you care, right? That you're enthusiastic and that you care about them. And those are different tonalities. And regarding the I really care tonality, which is something that was difficult for me because I'm always energized, always enthusiastic, but I really care is much more like a good politician that looks you straight in the eye and you feel like you are the most important person in the world. Maybe you don't have such a politician, right? But there is, for example, Bill Clinton. Now, if you're a Republican, don't worry. I'm going to play you a track here that is old from the 90s. So no current politics involved, and keep that aside. Whatever you think about Bill Clinton doesn't matter. He's really good at giving somebody an impression. that he really cares about them. So let's watch that together, how a young man asks a question, and Bill Clinton is just naturally so good at giving this person the feeling that he really cares about them, right? Have a look.
I was just wondering, how can you help the families where there's a mom and she's taking care of a kid or kids and the father isn't willing or isn't able to pay child support?
And you have about 30 seconds, Mr. President.
If he's not willing, we can have much tougher child support enforcement. I feel very strongly about it, and I've got a good program to strengthen it. If he's not able and the mother is working and taking care of the kids, I think the tax system should actually give the mother money back if necessary. I think any parent that's working 40 hours a week with children in the home should not live in poverty. I think we should change the tax system so that people who work with children should be lifted out of poverty.
Impressive, right? You don't need to be that good with it, but if you can build this muscle, this skill, well, also your private life changes, right? If you talk to your partner or friends and you give them the feeling that they are the most important person in the world, that all your attention is on them and that you really care about them, I mean, your life changes. So I always like to teach those things and let you practice them outside of the sales call. Because at the sales calls, there's so much going on, right? And you need to have skills that are so deeply rooted, so easy for you to do that you can pull it off like that in the sales call. So what I want you to do tonight is speak to anybody, basically, right? Whoever you're meeting, and use this tonality. Talk about a topic, ideally, that is something dear to them, right? Something they care about, and then really show them. And I'm using it right now, this tonality of I really care about you. Okay, cool. Now, quick review of this video. What is important to establish in the first 5 seconds? Note that down into your notebook and then meet me in the next one.